some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Welcome to episode 104 of Fangin and Bangin. Let the bodies hit the floor. 104, 104. What's going on, Raymond? It's been a minute, man.
A lot has transpired since you've been in here last.
I thought you said there's a lot of transparency.
Well, I mean, there is.
I don't even know what. How long has it been? 4 weeks, something like that.
Like almost.
I think I came in right after the hip surgery, right?
Yeah.
And then
Had a few pass-ins and then.
So then it's been 6 weeks. So it's been like 5 weeks, probably like 4 weeks. It's been a month. It's probably been easy 3-4 weeks. Yeah. So I went in and got the hip checkup to go. You know what is it? The 6 week hip. You go 6 weeks. It's whatever it comes out to. Like what's 3 months? Like how many weeks is that? 12. So yeah, 6 weeks is 6 weeks. Okay then. So yeah, I went in for the 6 week checkup, and he goes, "Oh, you're healing good and everything." Then he scheduled my knee for October 23rd. He goes, "I'll see you in 6 weeks, but I'll see you for that knee quicker than that." So October 23rd, I'm gonna get that total knee replacement now. So
Your robo.
They said the hip's doing great. He said I was 2-3 weeks ahead of schedule or whatever. He said I was doing good. He said, "You're not wrestling, are you?" I go, "No, I'm not back wrestling."
Have you been?
I may have or may not have accidentally did a headlock takeover too and forgot about my hip, and I said, "Oh crap, what was I doing?" You know, I was in there teaching and got caught up in the moment and started doing some of the moves I didn't. But not wrestling though. No.
Does it feel different?
Like
a robot or something?
No, I don't feel like I'm a robot. I don't even know. My knee still hurts so much. I went in there to schedule the knee and ended up with the hip. So I just feel the knee pain. My back doesn't hurt as much. So I have balance now. Before I couldn't stand on this foot or go upstairs on my left leg. And I thought it was from the back pain and the sciatic, but apparently that was the whole hip with it being fractured and being bone on bone and impacted and then that whatever, just being destroyed. So apparently it feels better. I believe it does. I just I think the knee pain outrides it so much that I don't notice. But yeah, it's definitely feels better. I don't feel like a robot or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I might be afraid to go take a suplex or something right now too. And if you go like, I think in my head I don't want to mess their work up because we were going to get. I went for the 6 week checkup, and the X-ray lady goes. She's in there. And she looks at the X-ray. So you lay down on a table, and they put the X-ray from your like thighs up to like your midsection, right? They're trying to shoot the hip, and then I hear from the X-ray room. She goes, "Oh, that's a long one," and I go, "Well, thank you." She goes, "No, the implant." She goes, "I haven't seen one that long." I go, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was just joking with her. She got the joke though. She was like 70. I didn't think she'd get the joke, but she caught it and she was laughing at it. And but she goes, "Yeah, that's like a longer." implant than usual. She said, "You must have really had a bad hip." I go, "He said it was, but it's doing good." So on the mend, looking like in another 5 weeks I'll be cleared. I probably could wrestle, but I'll be cleared for wrestling, I think. But I've already had the knee surgery by then, so I had a total knee replacement. So I'm not so sure what my downtime will be with a total knee replacement. Probably 6 months tops. I think 4 months if everything goes well and stuff. I don't know. I've never had it done, so I really don't have nothing to compare it to. The hip was quick. The hip I believe is going to be a clean 3 months, and I could wrestle. So and it feels good and doing good. So life is good.
Better.
And I mean, in the process of doing all this, I thought I would hurt it doing stuff because I've moved. We've ended up me and Susan have bought a house out in Tamarack, Florida, west. So we have left the ocean, the beach, La Playa. We have left waking up and seeing the ocean out the window every morning when you wake up, or when you're having your coffee in the kitchen or in the living room. I don't know. There's a golf course, right? So there's a golf course. I don't think the golf course is active, this section of it, but it's cut and they keep it trimmed. But you look out there and there's iguanas the size of alligators. They look prehistoric. You're like, what the flip is going on? And, I've never been sketched out by an iguana, but these are extra huge iguanas that climb trees. And they just, all I can think is these big-ass iguanas are going to eat her little dog, Tina. And then you see foxes going through there. And you're like, foxes? What, wild jungle out here or something? And then when you think it's all said and done, you run into a big bad coyote. There's coyotes out there. So, and this is a neighborhood, but I guess they roam that golf course and that section. You know, they keep it cut and it looks good. And it looks like they play golf on it, but it's empty. But there's like lakes and canals out there, stuff like that. So it's out west. I mean, we're out west of University. So you know, they keep building up in their natural habitats, the Everglades and whatnot. So I mean, I don't know about these iguanas' natural habitat, but the foxes and the coyotes and I haven't seen any alligators. But I think you know when they build so far west into where their lands were, you know, where these animals and stuff live, you got to expect that kind of stuff. And really, you should feel bad for them, not complaining, I suppose. But the coyotes kind of sketch me out. Fox is cute. Iguanas, I'm like, ooh, I don't mind an iguana, but like a 3 foot, this thick, these big, thick orange iguanas, like, I don't know about that. But.
And you've seen all that within the week you've been there, or the 2 weeks you've been there?
3 days. I've been there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what's today? Thursday. 3 days, yeah.
You've seen all of that?
So we moved in Monday night, finally, and so this was like the Tuesday and the Wednesday throughout, yeah.
You know what's next, right?
Big boa constrictors coming in there.
No, the guy behind you.
Bigfoot. Yeah, maybe. Don't tell Susan that. She doesn't believe in Bigfoot. But that's what I'm going to tell you this. I'm also sketched out because I'm used to living on the 21st floor, right? So, and then on that apartment we had on the 21st floor, we had big windows, right? So we didn't need any blinds in the window. I mean, if you went through that kind of effort to try to see up there, you had to have a telescope or whatever from another like apartment building or something along the beach or something.
Drone or something.
So yeah, you had to be on a mission to be like looking up in there. So you didn't mind so much not having blinds, but this one's out there on that damn golf course. So it's all black out there at night, and your house is lit up. And I'm telling you, our windows are so big that we got to figure it out. I think we got to get that security one-way temp because you can't even cool the house down. Like it's just so hot that AC will be on 72 just running. Like, and we just spent like $2,000 trying to upgrade it and do the things we have to try to get it cool, but it won't drop below 75. And I think it's because every room. I mean, there's a family room, a living room, and then there's the primary bedroom, the bigger one. I don't think you're allowed to say master bedroom anymore. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't know. That's what the realtor told me. I go, is this the master bedroom? She goes, you can't say that. I go, what do you mean I can't say that? Like, what is the bedroom racist or something? Like, I mean, what? I don't know. I don't get it. But primary bedroom. So they all have these giant panes, like this, like bigger than sliding doors, like regular glass sliding door. They're like big because the ceilings are arched. So it's just like boom, this big sun magnifying glass. So you're in there at night, the house is lit up, and there's no curtains, no blinds on these things, and the golf course or whatever's back there, or whatever, like kids or Bigfoots out there. I'm waiting to see some red glowing eyes looking in at me when I'm sitting in that living room or when I'm going to bed at night. Like see like a big Harry and a Henderson Bigfoot looking in the bedroom. Like it doesn't bother Susan. It might be, I don't know what they put in the water. People from New York originally, but I don't know. Those Florida dudes, I don't know. I'm not effing around wondering if Bigfoot's out there or whatnot's looking in at me.
Have you explored the golf course yet?
No, I've been busy actually in the daytime. So the only time I've been out there is either night or like 5 a.m. this morning. So I took the dog out to go for a walk, and I'm like, I go down the main street, and you could cut into the path to go to the golf course and walk it. And I went and it just got like pitch black, and the trees went over, and I went, oh hell no! Like, the dog's looking at me. He wasn't going. She wasn't going there either. She was like trying to go out back towards the lights. I went back there thinking, no, there's coyotes, this, and then good. After Bigfoot's back there taking a bath in one of them canals or lake out there. I was like, hell no.
Yeah, you're not your typical default Caucasian Florida man.
I'm not on crystal meth running around naked through the woods. No, but that's not even a Florida man. Those people are all from like Rhode Island or Arizona. They all move here and give Florida man a bad name. We've gone over this a million times where I've been half the people busted in Florida doing silliness and the most crazy things they do, besides maybe the alligators, like running into a store and an alligator. But the ones just doing this whacked out stuff are probably not even from here originally. They probably transplanted and moved here.
Transplanted,
whatever
what?
it's called, man. Like, so I know a few people born and raised here, and we're all normal. I mean, a couple of them. I was looking at one of them, Dave. Somebody tried to go in his backyard. He's like, next time I'll let my dog chew your body parts. I'm like, Jesus, like that's a Florida guy. That's somebody that's lived here, you know, their whole life, born here. The other ones, guys I know that born and raised here ain't running around the place naked, smoking meth and stabbing their girlfriend in the eye with a spoon or something. I don't know. They're like,
It sounds like Texas.
pretty normal. I think yeah, Florida, and I think a lot of the problems with Florida and that is you have a lot of much like California. The weather's great in California. It doesn't rain that much. So you know, people with mental illnesses, a lot of them end up they can't hold a job or get proper funding or help, and they end up homeless. And I think Florida, there's a lot of rain and stuff, but it's year-round warm. So I think they end up here and they end up living by the beaches and stuff like that. I haven't noticed a lot of that at Tamarack, probably because the coyotes are eating them or something. You know,
It's far out.
yeah, it's out. Yeah, it's out past University. I mean, it's a lot of things out there, but that particular area we're in is like it's kind of like it's kind of touchdown. So, like, it's my ESPN app. I got to keep track, man. I got the Hurricane, the U's doing good, the Yankees. The Yankees have clinched the playoff spot. Tampa Bay has won 2, and the Oakland Raiders are on a roll. Like all my teams are looking good, Raymond. They're all like right where they need to be right now. So
It's rigged.
yeah, you don't watch any sports, do you?
No, I don't watch TV.
Not even college football.
It's not entertaining to me.
It's not entertaining. Just the blacked out areas, tinted windows. And you're gonna have to give me a name of somebody. I'm gonna have to get these windows tinted because you're right. I do think Bigfoot's looking in. Not to get off the subject again, but yeah. But the house is great. It's awesome. It's quiet out there. So I don't know how this will affect us, but there's my phone's busy today. I actually have my own office. Well, I'll share it with her, but there's a room to be an office. Although I don't have a desk, a computer, or anything that looks office. It's just an empty room sitting there with all my, in the closet, it's like all my wrestling stuff. And I've gone through like all my 8x10s and stuff to get ready for all the cons and stuff like that I got coming up this year, next year. I think I agreed to do at least 10 conventions next year already. So so like that'll take some of the stress off the body on the wrestling part. So doing signings and stuff, and with a new hip and a new knee, I should be able to be jumping up and down at these signings, you know, doing a little Fangin and Bangin. Once some
You're gonna deck it out?
Take some. Here we go. What's that?
You're gonna deck the office out? You're gonna paint it black?
I don't know. I think
Red?
I better. No, I'm not gonna paint it black. That's a Rolling Stones song. Paint it. I'm gonna. No, not black. I don't see. No, I think I better start with a desk and then. But maybe I'll get a computer. But what I was gonna say is, I don't know. Like, 'cause the drive is like an hour to come over to this studio. I wonder to do some of the things. Then I don't know how it looks though. If I got a computer, and I don't know how that looks when your computer's just. I don't know how that goes. How's that go?
We may not even need a computer. If we set the cameras up over there, all you have to do is hit the on button.
Well, then you'll be spying on me like the Bigfoots are looking in on me all the time.
I'm not gonna
Probably
virtually
turn
be
it
able to see
on,
it.
like the government, like looking, and it's bad enough I had to file taxes and everything.
What, the first time in 20 years?
No, for the third time in 20 years. But I'm legal and I'm legit now. I'm not going to jail, so don't be spying on me, man. But so the move was good. It's great. CCW is doing good. I don't know. They just were on Deco Drive, that's the Channel 7. That's the local news if you're listening from somewhere else. All the brewery shows and that it's a hipster, trendy type of thing here in South Florida to go watch wrestling and at the breweries and stuff. And they run a few of the breweries, so that's some good stuff. Nikki Blackheart was featured in that, and the guy that she's always trying to get on the show here, Domino, which I call Damaho, but Domino.
We got let's just play it now.
What's that?
Let's just play it now, the clip.
You playing that? Where you playing it at?
Nothing like an ice cold beer and a CCW Smackdown.
That sounds so funny. Okay, anyway, that's exactly what Rumble in the Jungle is serving up, and apparently you're drinking it.
Yeah.
Every month they're converting breweries all over SoFlo into a wrestling match. Hold my beer and watch this.
Set him up for it. He nailed it. Domino effect.
Domino effect, got
Hook
it.
of the leg. 1, 2, 3. He got him.
Mix craft beers with a nice pin down, and you have a hit.
It's very Miami. Like we run 4 different shows a month in South Florida, around South Florida, and a lot of them are based in some like really cool cultural spots, like cool breweries. Every third Saturday, Tripping Animals, like this is where we're at right now. This is perfect for professional wrestling because a lot of times, you know, when you watch professional wrestling, it feels like an acid trip or a mushroom trip.
Turning this massive brewery into shows like Rumble in the Jungle can be exactly what you need after a long week.
So this is absolutely the opportunity for you to like de-stress and just go completely nuts. Now don't go too nuts. We have had some moments that go a little bit like fans who've jumped over the rail, like do not jump over that guardrail. But you really get to let yourself loose and really enjoy yourself.
You're getting lucky tonight. Not lucky, but you're gonna be wrestling Nicole here. Nikki Blackheart, right? Look at me. Purpose,
Yes,
physical, and intense.
I got this.
Right? You wanna come in and golly!
CCW loves to teach wrestlers like Domino and Nikki Blackheart how to Smackdown.
Professional wrestling, you know, the greatest of all spectacles. Yeah, it's combat sports mixed in with a little bit of drama and some artistry and music and beautiful people.
She had her debut match just about 2 weeks ago.
Once you're ready to show off your skills, you get thrown into the ring. Nikki is certainly a beauty, but don't let the beast come out.
It's in no way not real, you know, it hurts a lot. And it's really just a spectacle. It's like being a live stunt woman in front of a large crowd and you get one take. Otherwise that crowd will laugh at you or make fun of you.
Lucky for veteran Domino, wrestling fans love the messy drama.
Normally I think it's about 200 people. You see from families and kids to friends that they just come here and want to have fun. At the show you get a little bit of sweat. No, but it's mostly it's really hot here. For that day we do turn on the fans and that does help.
Charging Domino out of the way.
The next Rumble in the Jungle. Do I sound like Freddie Pacheco?
You did great.
You guys are too young, you don't know who that is.
Yeah, so with those clips I was worried, you know, because when they came in, like I didn't want to go over to Nelio from CCW. He goes, "No, you're part of the company," but I didn't feel like there was anything that they do with me. But like when they do little things like these deco drives, sometimes they can come across quirky. So when you get there, and she's like, "I need her to beat him up and stuff," you go, yeah, I don't know. So I was worried. So that's the route we went. I went to the route where like, come on, you gotta take it serious. You in here, you know, like coach. And then I guess I don't enunciate my words properly or something. And I read one that had the subtitles and it said something about I said Dolly, like let's go, like Dolly Marlins, Dolly Raymond, like come on Dolly, let's go. And it said garlic, come on garlic, like garlic, and I'm like what? But yeah, but it turned out to be a good good piece of business. I was worried that they could make the way they film things, they could do anything with it they want. They could have made it even, and the stuff that we did could have been interpreted as super silly and just silliness, and but they did it justice, and it came out good, and it's good. Nelio.
I'm seeing you on Deco Drive. That actually went viral when you did it back with GWA.
Oh, yeah, I did Deco Drive.
You gave Chris that.
He gave himself that thing. I took care of that cat. He about killed himself. He about sabooed himself right there, lying on his head like that. Break his neck, spinal cord. Yeah, that was the same. I forgot I did the Deco Drive. Yeah. That was the KMGWA. I remember Lynn Martinez didn't. She wasn't like. I don't think she was too keen on coming into the GWA thing, but when she walked in, it smelled like bleach and ravioli. So it was like clean, and she goes, "Oh, good." But they did come. When we went to the brewery, but that's the Tripping Animals Brewery. I'm not sure when this will come out, but they have a show there this Saturday. Today's Thursday, but I don't know if this clip will be out by then. But you can check it out. Tripping Animals down in Doral, Florida, and it's a fun show. It's a little warm in there. But the bar, they got all these crafted beers. My favorite one there is I think it's called the Everglade Haze. Everhaze. It's called Everhaze. It's a pale ale. A lot like my beer when I was at GWA. What was it? Gangrel's Impaler and Pale Ale. The Pale Ale. It was a pale ale. It was a pale ale. So I like the Everhaze over there at Tripping Animals. I recommend that if you like a pale ale. That's a really good one there. Everhaze. That's a cool place. I would hang out at it more. Not that I drink much. I don't drink very much anymore, but the vibe is cool and chill, but it's all the way in the Doral. Although where I live now, even though I'm up in Tamarack, almost West Coast Springs, like right off the Sawgrass, I'm like way out there. But because of that, I could be in Doral in 25 minutes, like just the Sawgrass 75, and I'm like, bam, I'm like
so
right
really
there, literally like. That was at rush hour when I did that one day. I was like, because nobody's coming back this way. They're all going back that way. So at that time of day in the afternoon. So yeah, it was quick to get out there. That same trip I would do from Hollywood, which is technically way closer, it would take me an hour and 15 minutes. Like so that's cool. So but I'm not gonna go out there and hang out. But if you live in that area and you want to have a good time, check it out. You know, CCW. It's called Rumble in the Jungle, I believe. Rumble, not. We're not talking like Muhammad Ali and all that. It's gonna be a rumble in the jungle, baby. Or what did he say? Thriller in Manila. You even know who Muhammad Ali is?
Out of touch.
You don't know?
Oh wait, no, yes,
Muhammad
yes.
Ali.
Yes, I know Muhammad
Man,
Ali.
I was gonna leave this room right now.
It was a rumble in the jungle. I didn't get that part.
I don't know. Was the Rumble in the Jungle like George Foreman? I don't know. I'm not sure which one, but it was Ali. But I could be mixing things up. I've been known to mix my whole life up, day by day, step by step, breath by breath. I still mix stuff up, even though I live by that motto and that policy. But yeah, so
keep it together well.
Yeah, what's that?
You keep it together well.
Yeah, not today. I'm all over the place. But yeah, so that was cool. That Go Drive and Channel 7 News were coming out there. That was cool, and it was good. It turned out to be an okay piece. I was a little bit worried, but yeah, that was cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun. Domino, he's coming along. He's got a lot of things to work on. We got to keep him humble. His head's growing daily. It's getting bigger and bigger with all this attention he gets. He's been in the Miami Herald. Remember, he's on the cover of the Miami Herald. I saw his mom in that clip. Did you see his mom? She was the one wearing a Domino shirt. That was his mom arguing with Tapia. I think she was arguing with James Tapia and Fur or whatever, with the Raw Dogs they're called. She's a great lady. But yeah, and then good God, Nikki Blackheart. She can't even to get her to try to come in or do anything. You have to talk to two of her assistants to be penciled in, and then to later be inked in or something like that. So. She's a hard woman lately, and she's been busy on her missions, but she looked good in there, so it was good.
It's a rising star.
Well,
a shooting star.
Well, which one? A shooting star, you burn out really quick, right? You ride it to the ground. Rising star.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. I think I'd rather go the rising, where it's a slow rise and you enjoy the journey, because the journey is the jewel. You know.
Yeah.
You don't want to start hot and flare out, right? So. Go with the rising star. Hopefully, it all works out. Domino could be a shooting star because he started a little later and he's on fire right at the top right away. So, but he seems to be handling it well, and he seems to be. He does a lot of good things in the community too. I don't know. He's always on different. We got to get him in here because he supports NAMI, a mental health thing. He does a lot of good deeds in the community and charities and pop-ups. He's actually opening he's a part owner in a bar that's opening up in Miami. He's spent a lot of permit problems and stuff like that. It should have already been opened, and then they were shooting for October. I don't know the heck the name of it is, but he'll bring an interesting style of wrestling to that when it opens. It's going to be pretty cool. So as that evolves, we'll touch base on it. Definitely get him in here because I think it'll be good. You know, like it'll be good. It'll be a little cool, hip place to be hanging out in Miami there. Like, not that I'm going to hang out there, but I might be part of the wrestling stuff. But looking forward to that, though. We'll get them in here. But, yeah, they're both doing good. Good to see people come out of school and be able to make the local news, and especially Domino, who's doing a lot of great things for the community in Miami and South Florida. So that's awesome. It's awesome. And Nelio Comacosta there with CCW. You could hear Dan Evans' voice, Dapper Dan, Ackerman there, Dan Ackerman's voice in the background. So a lot of good stuff in that clip. They did it well, and I'm grateful for that. But What else we got going on? I didn't watch any wrestling like usual, so I don't
Yeah.
know why we shouldn't even call it a wrestling podcast anymore. So I do watch some wrestling, but it's just clips, bits in here with the.
It's been a
movie.
lot of landscape shakeups. NXT's on CW now.
Yeah, how's
Oh,
that working now?
free
Did
TV.
Did it already debut on
Yeah.
CW?
You have SmackDown's back on cable.
It's
I think
on
the
USA?
last USA. I think
on
the last time
USA.
they were on cable was Sci-Fi.
Okay.
But yeah, they're on USA now. And Raw is also on USA. I think up until January.
They still running hard with the bloodline feuds and stuff like that. Or?
It's getting a little confusing, if you ask me. But I think because you have Roman, he's back.
Cody, though.
He's teaming up with Cody.
Well, you got Roman calling out Jacob, but Solo keeps pulling Jacob back, right?
I think they're waiting till January. I think everyone's anticipating the Raw Netflix deal because they're promoting no commercials, back down to 2 hours.
Yeah, or are they gonna do like
And
a
it's
War
rated.
Games where it's all the Dynasty versus the Dynasty?
Rated R.
The OTC, the original Tribal Chief versus the Tribal Chief, TC, OTC versus the TC, with their groups, like kind of like gang warfare, I guess, like,
I think aside from the storyline, I think a lot of people were just anticipating the Raw being on Netflix because I think they're being promised an Attitude Era version of Raw because it's cursing, blood, no commercials. You guys had commercials, but
when's it start on Netflix?
January.
That's a ways out, though. It's a ways out.
So it's gonna be uncensored, and The Rock's already been promoting it being uncensored.
See
You're
what
gonna have a lot of
happens. We'll see what happens.
comparisons of. You can't compare the two eras, but
We've had a lot of passings too.
I think three since.
Kevin Sullivan, Sika, Kevin Sullivan, Alpha, and then another younger wrestler, Mike Shear, Mika Taylor. He was only 47, so a lot of thoughts and prayers go out to all their families and stuff like that. Yeah, Alpha was a heartbreaking one. He's did a lot for me. I used to, I tell people about the schools that I trained at, right? So I trained here with Rusty Brooks and Boris Malenko. Boris Malenko being Dean Malenko's dad. I trained here. Then I got a chance to go work in Stampede Wrestling, and then I trained again in the Hearts Dungeon up in Calgary. And then from there, I went to All Japan, and that didn't work out with my partner, and ended up in Puerto Rico full time. And then I went to Memphis full time, and there were still territories at the tail end. And I felt like I wanted to train some more, so I went to Alpha's. And Alpha, such a kind human being, took me in. He says, "No, you're not gonna find a place to live or a hotel. You're gonna live here with me." And he gave me a room in his basement, basically the whole basement, and down there. And I started training. And the next thing you know, I was running the show. But then the things he taught me were more valuable than in the ring. He taught me how to run a show and how to carry myself in the industry and all the do's and don'ts and stuff like that. So I was heartbroken of the loss of Alpha there. So my heart and prayers go out to all the family and stuff like that. He touched a lot of people's lives, and I was at his the viewing and the services, and to hear the people speak and talk, you knew what kind of great man he was and a human being, and he's gonna be missed. So yeah, he lost a lot of really great individuals. Kevin was a mentor to me too, and I should have just left it back, and I'm sending out prayers to the families because it's just really hard for me to talk about any of them. There and Mike, so young, 47, and he was just another awesome guy. So again, just positive prayers and vibes out to the family. And let's switch gears off that subject. What else is going on?
We have slightly off of wrestling, but kind of on it because he was like a staple in WWE for a few years. P. Diddy.
Oh, P. Diddy.
He was performing at every event for like a couple of that. He had a good 3 or 4 year run. Performed at all the tribute to the troops.
Told you I had that dream P. Diddy touch me, right? You see what's going on now.
1,000 bottles. You seen 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
What 1,000? What do you reckon? And then probably everybody's already talked about this. And that's that ring bell. See, people creeping like I can't. Worst thing I got is this camera. Now all I do is like a crackhead. That bell goes off. I'm like, who's at my door? Like, this damn Amazon Prime dude. He didn't even leave nothing. What was he doing? He's just scouting the house out. You know, like it's crazy. Obsessed with that stuff. My poor dogs. That dog is tripping in that house too. To go back to the house, that dog is like. That dog's thinking somebody's gonna show up there with 1,000 bottles of baby oil and try to do something. It's too big. It doesn't know what to do. So it sits right on the mat at the front door, like literally at the door. It waits for that bell thing because you could hear that in the house when it goes off or somebody comes in.
Do you guys know anything about the previous owners?
No, it was a single older fella, and I'm thinking, I think his wife kicked off in there. Yeah. I think she might have died in there. Nobody told us. So I'm not even gonna look it up because I don't even want to know. Again, I haven't been sleeping in there, but I haven't had no bad feelings like that. But there's energy in there that I might have to go get a shaman or a rabbi or whatever. She's Jewish. I'll get a rabbi, or I'll go get a shaman, or I don't know, some Catholic priest or somebody to come in there and bless that place and go corner to corner with some sage or something.
Yeah.
Hell, I'll even let a witch in there to come do a little brouhaha. Come clear this energy out so I can sleep. I really think it's those big ass windows why I can't sleep. I keep waking up thinking I'm gonna see a big set of red eyes looking at me, Bigfoot in there going, "Hey, come on, play."
They have some. See, this is why you need to get a cat. A cat'll get the spirits up.
I'm messing with no cats, man. I like cats, but I don't want to own no cats. I do like cats. I just don't want to. I don't want to own any.
They're low maintenance.
And then if I listen to Trump, then I gotta worry about somebody trying to come eat them. But that's been people been doing that junk forever. They just got caught or something. I don't know. They've been doing that forever, people.
It's a delicacy a lot of places.
Yeah, I told you Korea. I
ate a dog.
Ate dog for a week, and I didn't even know it. And then the last day, it was like Korean barbecue where you cook your own meat. You know, they bring it to you, and they go, "Oh, the specialty Davidson," or whatever they would say. And every night they'd bring me, and it was just this tender, like, and it's so sweet. This beef, it was so good. Whatever it was marinated in, and the last night, about a week of this. And they said, "Oh, what would you like to eat?" And I go, "The special, the thing." And then they said, "Woof woof," and I'm like, "Woof woof? What do you mean woof woof?" They go, "Woof woof," and they showed me a picture of the menu with the dog on it, like a little baby husky. Man, I tried not to freak out. I tried not to like act like it got to me there, but man, I lost my shit. I lost it. But it absolutely drove me crazy to where I wanted to leave the tour and go home. It is such a longer part of that story. I think I've told it on here before, right? Yeah. Where I go to the market and I end up seeing the dog high and quartered, and then I finally broke down. So, but that all being said, it didn't taste bad. So, but I'm not gonna eat my pet, and I'm not gonna eat nobody else's pet. So
I mean, you spent about 90% of your life traveling. How many? Does that make you think about all the other times you might have ate something you didn't?
Man, if I read and listen to everything. Somebody sent me something the other day about cricket protein. They're like giving people half the protein stuff we take with powders and protein bars are like comes from crickets. So these people putting cricket protein, getting the protein from crickets. I'm like, what? And then I've eaten horse though, goat. I've eaten a lot of things, but that's why I tend to stick with chicken. I think, man, it's like chicken looks the same, smells the same, unless they got it all in some kind of stew or gumbo or something. They try to trick you up something, but pretty safe with chicken, man. You getting those beefs and those, they give you bush meat, mate. You know, over in Australia, bush meat. What the hell's bush meat? It could be a rat for all I know. I don't know. So I've probably eaten a lot of things, and but it's good that I don't know what I've eaten, or I'd probably be devastated, like mentally, because I don't think being raised in a city and not in the country, hunting and having to hunt and kill your food to eat for survival or whatnot, or understanding any of that. In your mind, everything comes across kind of like a horse as a pet. You know, you don't want a steak that's a horse, but yet I've eaten it because I was in a place that served horse for food and goat, and they try to pass it off as steak. But it wasn't, you know. But I ate it, and it wasn't bad. But if I would have known it, walking in there, I wouldn't have ate it, you know.
You never tell them what it is. Supposed to never tell the person what they're eating.
But back to the P. Diddy and all this oil. So like I said, my poor dog's worried. It sits there on that the house is too big, so it's tripping over there. But what was P. Diddy doing with? So 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
So when they raided his house a few months back,
oh yeah, I remember in Miami. Yeah,
they dropped the indictment when he got arrested the other day, and they showed what they found in the home. They found a bunch of tapes, DVDs. They haven't disclosed what were on there, but you already kind of know what was on there.
Jay-Z on there, isn't he? Meek Mills is on there, isn't he?
And Cassie, I think it's a lot of business people are on there because we have the parties, and he would secretly record. That's what Cassie claimed. He would secretly record the businessmen doing these specific acts. That's how he got a bunch of favor in these deals. That's how he became a billionaire.
It's the same thing with what was that, the dude that killed Epstein. Yeah, you had every room recorded. You're hooking them up with underage people, or they're doing drugs, and they're wilding out, but they're recorded. Now you got blackmail material, and next thing you know, you're balling, but that's a slippery slope, and it can get dangerous. And look what happened to him. He got, right? So
no pun intended. Slippery.
Slippery, yeah. But yeah, I mean, or live by the sword, die by the sword, or the rope.
I think they threw him to the wolves because if you have a bunch of people and you're blackmailing them, at some point they're gonna come together. And
how long till Jay-Z?
We could give it 3 years.
3 years.
Give it 3 years.
Or you think he gonna already cut him a deal and he's already?
No, I think like nobody has survived the fate. Michael Jackson didn't survive it. Innocent or guilty.
Michael Jackson is still alive, man.
Of course he is. He's an immortal.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, he just got his out. He's still.
Well, look, Michael Jackson didn't survive it. No black successful man who's touching $1 billion survives it.
Hold on. What color was Epstein?
He's Caucasian, but look.
You just turned it like you said black. Why?
But look, Michael Jackson, he got chopped down. Bill Cosby, P. Diddy.
Yeah, but old Puddin' Pop was drugging and raping too. Like old Puddin' Pop.
Not saying what he was doing was right, but I think the colleagues or the people who are putting all the people that are quiet. Pay attention to all the people that are quiet. Ellen's kind of quiet. It's a lot.
So you're saying it's just better to be like a poor white serial killer like Jeffrey Dahmer? I don't know. I'm a little mixed up. I get what you're saying though. People with power and they're gonna come down, but they're doing bad things though. You can't do bad things. That's not you.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying though, but they're all doing bad things. If you're doing bad things, you're gonna get in trouble.
I think the easiest thing is just to watch the people who are kind of silent.
But they probably, I don't know. I don't trust anybody or the government or the news or anything unless I've lived it and I'm walking in my shoes and experiencing it. It's hard, and now with all this AI out there, this artificial intelligence, you don't even know what's real. I might get a big booty thread on my phone. I don't know if that's really a big booty. I don't know what's going on there. And it sure keeps popping up on my algorithms, and I'm not looking at porn, so I don't know what's going on. Like, so people say, "Oh, it's what you're looking at." I go, "How do they know?" I slowed down for 2 seconds. I didn't click on it. Like, so they know that you slowed down on that section for 2 seconds. Going,
that's what they want to feed you, man.
I don't know. I'm a little worried. And if this is all we got to talk about on here, this is pathetic. We better start watching some wrestling, man. And
now,
I mean,
I wanted to ask you.
I have watched some wrestling. It's just clips here and there, and then but things change so much. But
speaking of things changing, I kind of did want to ask you a question. Nothing specific in your career choices you made, but if you could just sit back and think about the pros and cons of the era, the Attitude Era with you in that WWE run. With the company, like things that stood out that were pros and things that stood out that were kind of cons versus what's going on today. Maybe like travel, food, catering, pay.
Well, pros, you had a lot of you run a leash, but it was a long leash. You know what I mean? You could get out there and be your character. You could go out there and put your matches together. Like the Attitude Era, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'd have to go back and watch tape, but I do know about the current stuff. Like when I watch a pay-per-view, there'll be like 2 superplexes off the top ropes with hurricanranas and stuff like that. Everything looks repetitively the same. The Attitude Era, I don't think that all the matches had the similar things because everybody was trying to out-top each other and outdo each other creatively, and so I think it was a more open range for them to go out there and entertain and be over the top and be big extension of themselves. We're here, this era now, everything kind of seems the same. The move sets, the sequences, a lot of it are all like just very similar, and there's less storyline to it. Where the Attitude Era, everybody had a story. Like, so, Shotgun Saturday Night, Sunday Night Heat. So if you won a match on Shotgun Saturday Night, it probably was going to elevate you to have a match on Sunday Night Heat, and then if you won there, then you would possibly get up to Raw and end up on Raw. But there was all within storylines, and even the guys, even if they lost a match on Sunday Night Heat, they would end up, but they would have a match with the guy that caused them to lose. Everybody had a storyline. Every match, every win and loss kind of meant something in that Attitude Era time. And now it's just hard. I don't know. I haven't watched it in the last 2 months, but prior to that, it was kind of hard to keep track of everything. Unless WWE was really good, and it sounds like I'm just rambling, but WWE was really good. If you could miss it for a month, you could watch prior to the pay-per-view, and their packages would educate you to. You didn't miss anything. So, like, I almost feel like I don't have to watch WWE because I could just wait till the day of the pay-per-view, watch an hour or 2 hours ahead of the pay-per-view, and I'd be caught up. Or they'll even explain it throughout the pay-per-view where I feel like I got to watch it. AEW, I can't keep track of. I have no idea.
I think that's what stands out between the two companies, because at a time where there weren't social media and you didn't have much DVRs, you couldn't rewatch something on YouTube, WWE, they had the audience's attention. They could follow a story because you're home, you're in front of the TV, there's no phones, no social media, so you can be captivated by a story. And I think WWE mastered that, obviously, because they had to. In AEW, they didn't kind of have to master that that storytelling. They didn't have to master it. So I kind of think, obviously, that's kind of what separates the storytelling. And then you have agents in WWE who's been, I think, are they still the agents there? You would know better than me.
Yeah, they still have agents. Yeah.
Are there people like from back?
Jamie Noble, all those guys are agents, yeah.
So another question following up to where I'm trying to go is...
Which I didn't really answer the other one, but go ahead.
No, it's going somewhere. So now... Pro or con, pro and a con, not talking about Tony Khan. So live events, you were on the road almost 7 days a week sometime with WWF. Do you think there was a pro or a con being on the road so much? A pro being, people got experience, or a con, wear and tear on your body? Because now WWE, they almost cut all their live shows and are kind of gearing towards only doing TV shows.
Well, I enjoyed being on the road, but the negative about being on the road, you say the wear and tear, a lot of it was on ourselves, the wrestlers, because the partying we would do, like every night a different town. Most of the Attitude Era, not all of them, like I'd say 65% of them, they were out and running hard and living a wild life and having a rock star type of life and having a good time. But I don't know if it's ever good to be on the road that much away from your family if you're trying to have a family life or raise kids. Generations after generation will be affected about you being on the road and not being there for your family and caring for them in the way you can. Now, I think they have maternity leave now. They have, there's all kinds of stuff. These people say, I don't feel like coming to work today. I'm feeling a little down or depressed. They don't got to go. I don't know, man.
You guys did it with no social media, too. So it was even harder to keep in contact with your family.
Yeah. Now you got Facebook, whatever. Where you got all that stuff, WhatsApp, and all the stuff that you could do live calls and chats and stuff like that. I think, but wrestling all the time and being on the road, you're in a groove. Your body stays in motion, and if you're being safe about it and you're working smart, I think it's good because I believe that rust never sleeps, and a rolling stone gathers no moss. Where you keep going, your body's used to it. As long as you're doing it within a reason that you're not diving and doing 450s off to the floor, or moonsaults every night. That's going to catch you at some point. Where now this generation, they just work these TVs, but then they go balls to the wall and they're flipping off and they're diving. They couldn't do that every night, but now they get hurt, but they don't lose their job. If we would have got hurt doing that, a good chance you're going to lose your job unless you're like this top guy, because there's so many people waiting to take your spot. Here, they still get paid. They get taken care of. They get they spring their toe. It's like being in a major league. There's so much money involved with them now. Oh, they got a toe sprain. We're gonna sideline them here until they get cleared. They got a cold, and then the COVID brought a whole other play, and like if you test positive. So it's you know, they're more aware of your health now, concussions and stuff, which is great. But at the same time, with them only working, what I'm trying to get to, I guess, is they're aware of your health. It's great. Concussion protocols, they take care of your body, right?
Yeah.
Your body's your temple, and you should take care of it, and they should help you take care of it the best they can, you know, on that way. But at the same time, when you only work 2 days a week, and you go out there and you go balls to the wall, you're gonna end up hurt all the time. You know, you're not constantly in play motion and keeping your body moving, and then you go out there and you go, oh, I got 4 days off, so I'm gonna go for it, and then you end up breaking an ankle or tearing something or tweaking this or end up with a concussion, and then you're out. You know, so I don't know. I'm all over the place. I didn't really give you an answer, but I think
you explained it well.
I think the medical's good, but I think you should work more. I don't know. I enjoyed being on the road. I don't know. I don't know anything but being on the road, so it's hard for me to say like it's not that it's good not to be on the road. I loved being on the road, but being on the road for us, you made more towns, you made more money. You know, we didn't always have a guaranteed contract. You had to meet your downside, and then everything you made after that was extra. So you wanted to be on the road and all the pay-per-views and do all the third-party appearances. We're here. A lot of these guys you're getting $1 million a year. You're getting guaranteed money. You're not trying to make towns and dates to add up to get that money or meet a downside. So for them, it's okay. They can have 4 days a week, go do 2 TVs. You know, they have a life. You know, maybe, and that's good that they can raise their families and maybe break some generational cycles of parents not being there and kids second generation.
So business-wise, it made sense to add another show like a Smackdown, because you were there before Smackdown.
I was there on Smackdown.
No, you were there before, and then you were there
before.
When it was. You guys are on the road anyway, so it made sense to just might as well televise this event that we're doing.
Yeah, well, they would be 2 TVs. I think like it was Monday or Tuesday they would tape it, and you know they would tape the Sunday night heats and the Shotgun Saturday nights.
Did that split up the travel, or was it the same like arena managers? They had to be at Raw and SmackDown, or did it kind of split up the whole?
Some of it was together, but then it split at some point too.
Was Vince at both Raws and SmackDown?
He used to be at everything. He'd be at everything. If it was a big house show like Anaheim and LA, or Anaheim and Anaheim, or the Garden or this, Vince would be at all those big house shows that meant something. He was at all the TVs back then. Yeah, he was at everything.
Like now, not to say the product's not good, but you know now like watching Raw and watching SmackDown is almost identical. The sets are the same, the energy, the camera angles, everything's the same. Was it a different energy back then from Raw and SmackDown?
Well, there was different sets. Raw was this big red. You know, SmackDown might have started with the blue and the big fist. I don't know. I can't remember, but they were different. They tried to give it different vibes, but I think they try to give it different vibes now too. The Raw and SmackDown and the drafts and stuff, but now. Isn't it even changed some? You said they debuted, right? It debuted with a cage match and all that.
No, I mean the production feels the same. Like it feels like you're watching WWE.
Probably the same guy producing it.
I mean, as a kid watching SmackDown felt like the hood version of WWE.
And then you were Shotgun Saturday Night then.
And I didn't watch
the
that.
trailer park. What are you saying, man?
Raw felt like the pristine, like bougie show, and as a kid, SmackDown felt like not that it was bad, but the nitty gritty.
Well,
like
Raw was the original, right? And it came from the Manhattan Center. That was the birth. That was the nucleus. You know.
I think the people know what I'm talking. I think probably because it was on free TV, like everybody in the hood never missed SmackDown. Plus, it was on Friday, so more people could watch it. It was like the. I don't know.
Back then, the more wrestling, the better. Now there's too much wrestling. I can't even keep track of it.
Think so?
I think there's too much wrestling. Yeah, I can't keep. Have you watched all the shows?
Don't.
I could if you could. If you had, do you have time to watch all the shows? I'm asking.
Yeah, but I think with
you do and you don't.
How fluent social media is, it's pointless to even watch it.
Well, I look at it, but I can't retain this stuff. Like I mean, I'll do cardio and.
Even if you wanted to watch it, 5 minutes scrolling on Instagram, you know what happened about the whole show, so it makes you not even want to have to watch it.
I suppose. I do watch every Saturday morning because I'm not on the road. I go down and do cardio, and I watch the highlights of SmackDown. So I guess I do keep up with the shows in a sense. I guess I could probably give an opinion on some things. But Raw, I haven't been watching. But I'll be honest. I watch SmackDown because Jacob, you know, I see what he's doing and stuff like that. So I tend to search that out. But right now, I've been watching more baseball. Now it's football season. Like, I got to fit all this stuff in, Raymond. All this stuff in.
It's a lot of TV time.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like a big dummy today, like just talking in circles and stuff because.
No, I feel, you got everything caught up. We talked about the health.
Yeah, but like with the pros and cons, I feel like there's so much. There's like, you know, like when you like pros and cons, like the cons of like if you got hurt in the Attitude Era, like it's kind of like anything. Like they don't really want you to get hurt, but a spot opens up and then boom, you just move up the thing. You know?
I think a better question would be, do the pros outweigh the cons, or do the cons outweigh the pros? If you kind of shifted to what's going on now in wrestling.
I don't know the mentality of all the a lot of the Attitude Era guys, where they were just like Wild West kind of gunslingers. Now they're more. It's a different generational thing. I don't think these guys would exist in this world. They would get canceled or put in jail or prison with all the mobile devices and the filming devices. Like, and I'm not saying all these guys are bad. I was part of that too. I'm just saying there was things that they could get away with and how what they thrived on, and even the Attitude Era itself that couldn't coexist in the era of what's going on now in the generation of people now. Like a lot of people ask me, they've asked me because I haven't wrestled. I've canceled a lot of shows, and they ask me, do you miss wrestling? Are you itching to get back on the road? And then they're shocked at my answer when I go, no. And they go, no, because I was on that road up to this hip every three shows a weekend, sometimes even 4, teaching, you know, I'm still teaching, but I don't miss the travel, the airports, that's hectic, missing flights, but that was all part of it, and you accepted it. But what it is I think I've come to realize that I'm outdated. Like, I'm just outdated. I'm in a locker room that is so different now. It's evolved, and it's a generation of people that I don't even know where they were trained or what's going on. They have a whole different aspect and a different look on it. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's just not what I came up in and I still teach. And so it's hard, you know.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit, because if you think about the people who are still current, who are still in the Attitude Era, who had to adjust. Like, John Cena wasn't in an Attitude Era, but he had the FU move, and they changed it to the Attitude Adjustment, or how a lot of people transitioned. You also transitioned. You can do an MLW skit where you're cutting
wrestling
someone's
wise,
neck.
I did, yes, but locker room wise,
yeah, and you do a show in front of kids, and the kids are cheering for you like a baby. Like, you transition so well in and out. It doesn't matter what.
No. Character wise, the kids like vampires. Twilight helped smooth that over.
Yeah.
And vampires are always going to be cool, and I always pitch that to them. A vampire character. People overlook the fact that I've gained 10, 15, 20 pounds here and there. My hair is thinning, and I'm clearly aging, so I'm not truly a vampire. They overlook that, but that's fine. And it's just how to connect with a crowd and relate with a crowd. But
yeah, it's
the locker rooms that I have a hard time connecting with now, and listening to everybody talk. And it's just generational. Like, I must have become that old guy that I used to say, what's that old guy's problem? But I don't say anything. I don't make the problem, where the old guys would be like, you're fucking suck, kid, you know, where I wouldn't say any of that, and I'm not even thinking that. I'm just thinking, like, I don't understand where they're coming from, but I do understand in a sense, like, what they want to do. But a lot of them, I'll ask, how many matches have you had? Oh, I've been wrestling 3 years. I go, how many matches have you had? Oh no, like 10. But they're talking like as though they were in the main event at WrestleMania, and that's the stuff I'm struggling with, because there's more people like that than actual people that have trained in proper places and are out there working. And granted, there's not a lot of places for them to work, but it's how they're carrying themselves that I have the problem with. So I feel old. That in that sense, I feel outdated. Like, it's hard for me to keep swallowing and going,
I think when you bring
go
up
on with your bad self.
When you bring up that perspective, that it's funny that you bring it up, because that's a perspective that we all miss. Because we all, fans looking in, we think we have the behind-the-scenes scoop because we hear a rumor or we kind of judge what's going on in the ring. We kind of skip out what's really going on in the locker room. So when you say that the thing is outdated, it kind of had to make me step back, and I had missed that point of you actually interacting with these people in the locker room. You're in the locker room more than you're in the ring. So now it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, but when I'm training these guys, I train them with that older mentality of respect and cultural type of stuff. But I know that they're going to go into that, so I don't restrain them with that. I just instill it in them to understand it and to exercise as much as they can. But I'm not asking them not to be, I'm not trying to put chains on them and say, you can't go out there and be yourself, this and that.
I remember training.
It's a different generation thing. You're going to do what you're going to do, but I just try to instill that. But when I go out there in different places, they're not trained by me. I don't know where they're trained, some of them. And I don't even believe they really are. And I just sit there mind blown going, oh, wow. Am I just too old, or am I become the salty old guy that's just cranky? And and I'm not mad at him or anything. I just mind blown. I just feel like I don't exist. But then I'll go out there and wrestle, and then the match will be good or whatever I'll call it. And that's, I'm saying it's not every night, but that's a lot of nights in a lot of locker rooms. But there's some people that are trained and by amazing trainers and are brung up properly, and you run into some great guys too. But the majority, I just feel really old in the locker room with how things are carried out and put into play now. It's just tough,
You're not selfless or bitter, and you're not stuck in your way. Because even when I trained with you, you would tell us, hey, this is the way that the big promotions or the WWE is going to want you to do it, and here's the way on the indies you can do it, like how we position in the corner or how we would stand in the turnbuckle. You would give us both ways. You wouldn't just stick to the way you grew up. You'll show us that way, but then you also show us the modern way in case we had to try out with a big company like a WWE.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and you always gave us those. You showed us both. You weren't stuck in your way.
If there's one way to do something, there's 15 other easily, or 5 other, 50. Don't want to restrain anybody. Like as I said, I don't want to put chains on them, but they got to be able to grow, become who they are. I was them, like, to do the vampire character. That wasn't acceptable in wrestling at that time when I started doing that. That was like, a vampire in wrestling. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Wrestling's still more serious. I mean, you had Road Warriors and this and that, these big jacked up dudes, but come in there and go, I'm a vampire in wrestling, without just having teeth or biting somebody, but literally having fangs and going, fanging them, It's a tough sell, but that's what I was doing and what I wanted to do and where the path I went down. So I'm not, who am I to say you can't be, I don't know, a ninja or this or that or whatever your character want to be. Like,
I remember you always telling Twilight, he could be whatever he wants, but you told him whatever path you choose, be 100% in it. You would always tell him that in practice, like, okay, I'm not telling you what route to go, but if you're gonna go this particular route with this particular character, be all in, commit. And I was like, wow, you never restrained somebody. You never told somebody, oh, this is the way you have to do it. Like, you understood.
No, I'm just trying to give them the best tools to succeed. But if I can't,
and now he's flourishing.
I can't say that world is wrong because that's the world they're going to be in. So I'm just going to give them, just instill some foundation, and then what they do with it, they do with it.
People don't know who Twilight is.
Jay Vidal. Jay Vidal. He's been back training at school. He's living down here now, and man, he's like, I hate to give him his whatever you want to call it, flowers, but man, he's gotten so good.
Yeah, he's flourishing.
He has gotten so good,
That's why I brought it up, because the route he's flourishing. Like,
he could work with anybody, and he's put size on, so he could work with a big guy or a small guy. He understands wrestling. He respects wrestling. He taught the hard end to me, the all business end, but I also would talk to him and encourage him to do what he wants to do. If he's going to do it, like I said, do it 100%, be all in, don't half-ass it, you know what I mean? If you're going to do it, chase it and be it. And he has, and I think he's frustrated. He's hit like a wall trying to get somewhere, but I think good things are coming for him. And if I could help him do some good things, I will, but I need to get him in here. We need to bring him in here. Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if anything's a prime example of being persistent and tenacious and continuing to go and not give up, is Jacob Patu.
Jacob,
like
he Jacob was just so good.
He had every reason to give up, and he didn't.
Yeah, he could have let his background or his past hold him down, and that could have easily chained him to go nowhere. But he kept pushing. He trained the right way. He didn't learn just to throw thrust kicks. He could do that naturally or splashes and stuff. He actually learned how to wrestle and understand all that and get a value and a foundation. And his uncles instilled, all the Samoan culture instills family and respect and their culture and stuff like that. So Jacob's amazing, and I just hope he stays the course. He's doing good, and I'm so excited for him, and I'm looking forward to that. Like, I'm very proud of him, proud of Jay Vidal, I'm proud of Ruthie J. I'm proud of anybody that I've ever had, even if they're just wrestling on a Friday night every other week. If they're going out there and being the best they can be, the best them, and they're having fun, I am happy and proud of them, proud for them, But yeah. So I don't know, Raymond. I feel like I've run out of things to say today. I got to ease back into this, but I think we'll as we're talking to everybody here, I'm talking to you as I'm talking to everybody. I think we're gonna try to format some stuff out a little better, and I'll come in here with more look at what like you're gonna ask me, so I'll give you better answers. I know you want off the top of my head, but my head's fried to give you off the top of my head. I had to sit back and go watch. Go watch the Raw and take notes, come in there and watch a Smackdown and actually take notes. Because I'll have notes in my head, but I forget them. And then with the wrestling school, I'm constantly breaking down matches. So I got I feel like, because over there, I was there yesterday from 9:30, 10 o'clock, 9:45 till almost 9 o'clock last night. 12 hours there was 3 different classes, and I had an hour and a half in between the one. But the 10:30 class bled right into 3:30, so that class, there's 2 classes morphed, and then I had 3:30 to 4:30, and then another class came in there, and we actually started training. So, and I've watched matches and I'm teaching, so everything's running in my head. I got so much stuff that I don't even retain the Raw or the Smackdown. Even when I watch the clips on the news channels or YouTube or something like that, it's hard for me to retain it. I feel like my head's just got
It'll
so
help now
much
that
stuff
it's going down to 2 hours.
Yeah, what's that?
It'll help now that it's going down to 2 hours.
Yeah, that should be good too. But
no commercials though. So,
but yeah. So, where are we at on time there? Right?
No, we're good. This is a solid episode.
All right, cool. So wrap it up. Or,
yeah.
All right, man. So yeah, I'm sorry I've been all over the place, Raymond, but it was good to be back in here. It's good. And the reason I reached out to you, I said, Raymond, man, we haven't done these things, and I realized I've been thinking that is because I go up and we were talking about Jay Vidal. He goes, mijo. He goes, when I'm traveling, is something wrong with the episodes? You're not loading them up? I go, no, I haven't done them. He goes, I really like to listen to them because it makes me feel like, I'm home when I'm traveling. It makes me feel good to hear your voice talking to Raymond and stuff. He really does say that. Mm-hmm. Then Ruthie J, right after him, she came in the next day. Hey, is there something wrong with the podcast? I'm so it used to be when I was on the road, the fans would remind me, hey, the podcast. I don't think anybody listens to it, right? So even if it's just Ruthie and Jay Vidal listen to it, it makes me feel like I should come in here and do that. But hopefully there's people listening to it. And I mean, I know I ramble all over and I don't really cover any subject. And sometimes I get sidetracked with Bigfoot, and I still haven't even given my thoughts on all the P. Diddy thousands of bottles of baby oil and what's going on there. I'm trying to think what I would do with 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but I'd probably end up in prison too. So I couldn't afford 1,000 bottles of baby oil, I don't think, but P. Diddy can. But I still think he has a lot of bigger things to answer to, man. I think there's some bigger, darker secrets may never come out, and these are the ones that are going to say, hey, we're going to hit you with these because you don't want us to come with the other stuff.
You think it's going to be bigger than
So you got to roll over, pee on yourself, and take these, or we'll come with the heavy artillery, like murderers and this and that, you know what I mean? I've seen so many memes, though, meanwhile, in P. Diddy's house, it'd be like some dude in a cage. And I'm like, what the hell, man? But I mean, maybe he is that evil. When you get so big, and you feel untouchable, like you could do anything. You just feel like I could do anything you want, because you get everything handed to you in life, and if you got away with it, you just in your mind, you get bored, or you just
like a spoiled child, kind of.
What's that?
It's like a spoiled child.
Yeah, I just want more. Nothing seems normal, like the normal relationship or a normal conversation or normal everyday actions they don't do anything for you. You feel kind of dead. You got to go out there and do stuff that is wrong or on the edge, or it's just it's just
I think it's deeper
madness. It's just complete madness. And
I think it's deeper than what we even see.
This whole I don't even want to think about it. But on that note, thank you for having me back in the studio here at Static Vision Studios. Fangin and Bangin with Gangrel. It's episode 104. Let the bodies hit the floor. Want some?
Get some.
Bad enough.
Take some. Get some. Bad enough. Take some.